questions.
Frank, this was Paul's best game so far. What was different for him tonight? Was he getting shots differently within the offense? Or?
I think there's a couple of things. He came over really early today and got a full sweat shooting workout. I don't know how many shots he got up, but he came over a lot earlier than he normally would. Just to similarly to what stuck out in my mind is a couple years ago he had a poor performance in Golden State and landed and went and hit the gym and just got up a ton of shots. He did something like that this afternoon. That, and I think he's probably still comfortable playing with two bigs out there, and we're still trying to find our way with the spread lineup, which is going to be really good for us. But maybe those two things contributed.
Does that kind of tempt you to go with bigger lineups more often?
It depends. I think there's a time and place for both. And that's the plan this year. It's not to be a small ball team. It's to use a spread lineup to counter what the rest of the league is doing, and to have a prolific unit ourselves.
Glenn Robinson, got his first real action tonight and played well. Does he kind of complicate things for you in the rotation when he's playing like that?
Yes, he does, and that's a good thing. I like what a lot of our wings are doing. So he had a good, strong performance, and he keeps playing like that. I'm going to have to find minutes for him.
What does he bring? What do you like about his game?
Well, he just makes heady decisions. He's got great athleticism, and he can shoot the 3-point shot. He runs the floor, and he makes good plays off the bounce. And he's got size to be a good defender.
Frank, before Monte's free throws, what did you want particularly from that play, given you guys had executed pretty well in the fourth quarter?
That specific play? Mm-hmm. Well, there's a couple different looks. I don't really like to get into what I'm looking for because I'm going to use that play again. So, but basically, the worst case scenario is to get Monte the ball at the top of the key, and let him go to work.
What did you notice most as far as guys executing better in the offense in the fourth quarter, unlike Memphis and Utah last week?
I don't know. Those games seem so far away, but I just think we've been really emphasizing the basic fundamentals of offensive basketball. V cutting and breaking open to get the ball where you want to get it in a position where you want it, and screening with physicality and using screens, speeding off screens, to create airspace, and I just think the last two nights we did a much better job with that.
Jordan Hill didn't even play Saturday, last two games. He's obviously played pretty well, and particularly tonight. What have you seen from him here early?
Yeah, Jordan was great tonight, and he's been great all the way. He understands, the situation with the depth chart in terms of Jan being our center and playing with spread lineups, which really leaves minutes for one power forward. So it's either going to be him or Lavoie when we're fully healthy. And both of those guys, what I love about both of those guys, they have the versatility to play the 4 and the 5. They can both shoot, the mid-range jump shot. Both great rebounders, both good defenders. Both can, hold their own against the heavyweight centers. And Jordan just played a great game tonight. He made a big play for the second night in a row at the end of the half to give us some momentum going into the third quarter. And just rebounded well. He shoots a mid-range shot, and you can go to him in the post too.
How big are back-to-back wins on back-to-back nights?
Well, they're huge. Every win's huge, but obviously we struggled coming out of the gates 0-3, and you get into situations where you just need to find a way to win. You have to have a sense of urgency and a heightened focus, and I thought our guys had that the last two games.
Coach, of the first 4 games, you struggled keeping other teams off the offensive glass and then also being on the glass tonight. In the first half tonight, you had 15 offensive rebounds, 15 second-chance points. You held Boston to 3. Did you see things that could be replicated and that would work forward, or was that just...
No, we got two of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA, in Lavoie and Jordan. So when we started them together, I knew we'd have a pretty strong advantage on the glass.
guys mentioned defense and sort of the intensity and the effort that's needed. On the final possession, is that sort of what you would hope to see, that George would put sort of Avery in a tough position, and then following him would be George Hill sort of forcing an even, more difficult off-balance shot?
Well, those two are so tied together, Paul George and George Hill. They've been together several years, been through the deep playoff runs and the playoff battles. They know how to cover for each other, and they're just tied together. And, that's what's going to come with the rest of the group, as we develop throughout the year. But they have it, and it showed up well on that final possession.